All of these gunshot wounds were survivable, except for the one in the top of the head that went through the brain.
Forensic pathologist Michael Baden explaining the results of a second autopsy done at the request of Michael Brown's family. Now there will be a third autopsy done by the Justice Department. Forensic scientist Dr. Henry Lee joins me now from New Haven, Connecticut. Dr. Henry Lee, thank you. How unusual is it for a third autopsy to be performed? What's the purpose? Dr. Lee, can you hear me? Apparently, Dr. Lee, we're having trouble with. Apparently, we're having trouble hearing Dr. Lee. We'll get back to Dr. Lee. In the meantime, I have some.
Yes, I can hear you.
I have some news that you can hear me now, Dr. Lee.
Yes, I can hear you,
Dr. Lee. How unusual is it for a third autopsy to be performed? What are we expecting to find that the two previous autopsies didn't show?
Well, often with cases have a controversial, they usually do multiple autopsies, but I doubt the autopsy will show everything, because any time this type of shooting case involves 4 very important elements. Autopsy just one. We have to look at the presence, absence of the gunshot residue, so-called GSR. Whether or not his hand have a gunshot residue, his shirt or his hair have a gunshot residue. That can show us the distance. The third thing is the trajectory, because obviously all shot was on the right arm, right side. However, we have to understand the human anatomy. A person is in the movement or the hands may raise, so those shots, the trajectory, really don't know yet. The last thing, is actually the most important thing, is to reconstruct the sequence event and shows what's the direction of the officer, what's the direction of Michael Brown, and what's their relative distance and the position. Those still unknown.
Okay, so are you satisfied, though, Doctor, that you know what happened based on the first 2 autopsies, or do you still have questions?
We have a lot of questions. The autopsy, as I said, only give partial answer. It's so important waiting for the laboratory result. Let's say if Michael Brown's hand have gunshot residue, which could consistent with some of the statements say he grabbed the gun. If absence of the gunshot residue may tell us a different thing. Also, which with the shot, people say fire from the back. It's all nonsense, because it's clearly, look at Dr. Baden's autopsy charting, everything is on the right side. It's at the front. So whether or not Michael Brown leaning forward, it's a possibility. That's why I have to determine the trajectory. And from the trajectory, then we can reconstruct the shooting.
Okay. If you were conducting this autopsy, Dr. Lee, what would you be most interested in finding out?
Well, I'm not a pathologist. I investigate a lot of police shooting cases in my career. Basically, the most important thing I want to see, the wound, what's the pattern, what's the entrance wound, exit wound, those graze wounds. Maybe a single shot can cause one or multiple bullet holes, entrance, re-exit, re-entrance. So that only can show us one shot instead of say individual was shot 6 times, which we are not really know how many times exactly was shot, because only 3 bullets was found. In addition, the distance still unknown. The distance from the gun barrel to the wound. That's crucial to find out. And of course, as I indicate, this trajectory, the sequence event, reconstruction. So the community have to really have patience waiting for the all reconstruction. You don't want to make a mistake, call before get all the known facts.
So you said, you know, you have to wait, and we're waiting as well on toxicology reports. They have proven, you know, to be beneficial, and to, you know, as to letting investigators know what happened. When will we get toxicology reports, you think?
Okay, toxicology report will not change the shooting event. Toxicology report only indicates whether this person intoxicated or not. So just like the autopsy report just shows how many bullet holes, what's the entrance wound, exit wound, the possible bullet trajectory. You have to wait for GSR. That's what they say, the gunshot residue. We have to determine whether or not have a gunpowder residue on his hand or on his clothing or on his hair. The second thing, we have to look at a reconstruction, because some of the bullets through can cause some high velocity blood spatter. We want to see where those blood stand located. Then you can determine original location when the gun was discharged. Then subsequent, what's the leading to his final position.
All right. Forensic scientist Dr. Henry Lee, we appreciate your expertise here on CNN. We are live in Ferguson, Missouri, and we want to tell you that every